Hello and welcome to this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast, where we have no technical difficulties whatsoever, do we, Keith?
No, none.
None whatsoever. Everything's running
whatsoever.
fine. Everything's smooth. We don't recommend not updating to the latest version of fucking Mac OS because reasons. So I just do what I do and wait till the very last moment and then do the update.
No, don't bother. Just don't bother. Anyway, hi.
Hello.
I'm here. Kinda.
Yeah, kind of. Yes, after a fashion. So this week's episode, we'll be talking mostly about Doctor Who, Monarch, the fun with the Marvels, and some other bits. I can't remember what the other one was.
For All Mankind is back on Apple TV, and we also have what's its face trailer. So yes,
Slow Horses, yes,
which is coming back. So
yes.
yeah, there's lots to be loving on Apple TV at the moment.
There is. Oh
so
my
that's
God! Why did no? Hang on, sorry. Why did you do that? Why? What's wrong with you? You need help.
Biffa, it's at times like these that I worry about people. Have you phoned the Samaritans? Are you all right?
Yes, I recommend.
You've got our Gmail account, so if you need to have a chat, you just give us a shout, mate.
If you have to reach out, please reach out.
Because self-harm is a problem, dude.
That is. Yes. Oh, I've had one great week. So.
I wanted to talk. I mean, before we get into the negative side of the Doctor Who stuff, I did. Because I'm kind of lucky. I found all the negative shit after I watched the 5-minute Children in Need skit. I enjoyed the 5-minute Children in Need sketch because I worked it out. I worked it out in my head straight away. Oh, he's Davros. All right, he's Davros pre-whatever fucked up Davros in the first place, right? Yeah, I get it. This is previous to the Genesis of the Daleks. This feels like Doctor Who. It's pretty good. Then I saw an interview with Russell T Davies. And I have not been so goddamn fucking angry in a very long while.
That's right. So that's you know what? Let me just share the article. We'll get right into the nubs. Okay?
Well, first of all, before you share the article, what did you think of the 5-minute skit? Because I kind of enjoyed that, except one line. One line pissed me off, but I thought we're going to get that. We're not going to get away from that.
Okay, all right. So I was watching it, and
can you think of the skit without the Russell T Davies thing before?
I can't remember what the Russell T Davies thing was. All I knew that I watched it and I went, God, Julian Bleach really looks like Davros without the makeup. That was the bit that got me. It was like, oh my God, he actually genuinely looks like he hasn't had the makeup on there. He doesn't need the makeup on there. So yeah. And then I heard the news, and I'm like, oh my fucking word.
Okay. You know, I've seen so many fucking people sort of saying, oh, it's going to be those straight white males complaining again. And do you know who the biggest people that have complained about this is? Do you know who the biggest group of people that I've seen online?
No, hang on a second. Let's bring the article up first, because it doesn't make. We've talked about it and we've gone into it. We've given no context whatsoever. So let's start with the context.
Oh, okay? This was an interview that he did. So there's an article on this behind. Okay, there's an article.
Arcane argument. My bloody mouse. I need to.
Well, we're not going to be arguing about this, Gareth. We're just going to be ranting about it because we're both on the same fucking page on this.
So, Oh no, I can't. No, sorry, my maths is giving me so much crap. Okay, so Russell T Davies opened up his stupid fat face hole. I think it's probably the best way to describe it. So we found this independent article here in regards to that. So after putting his brain in the fucking mincer, he's decided that certain Doctor Who characters, mainly Davros, you can't portray disabled people as bad. Now, I'd just like to point out the following. The reason Davros is like he is because people tried murdering him several times because they realised he's fucking evil. Really evil. He explained the decision about changing the iconic Davros thing. All he had to do is turn around and goes, look, I want to take a different spin on Davros this time. I want to see him without the kind of wheelchair stuff. I want to see him without the all that nonsense.
See him as primeval.
Yeah, see him in his prime. Yeah.
Pre-genesis of the Dalek. You see, to be honest, I never even saw him as disabled. I saw him in half a Dalek because he was kind of the creators of the Dalek. I never actually made the disabled connection, right? This is the first thing. Second thing is, yes, 50 years ago, right, disabled people were generally, portrayed on TV in a bad way and as evil. He makes a small point. But here's the thing, right? He says this is 2023. And surely 2023 is all about not discriminating. All he has done is reversely discriminated. What he is actually implying is that the chair is bad. The chair is a disability and the chair is a bad thing. And that disabled people would be insulted by this. He is defining disabled people by their disability. Now, this might not be fucking apparent, and I don't talk about it a lot, but I have a registered disability. It does not fucking define me, right? And this is why I'm so angry. Fuck you, Russell T Davies, you fucking able-bodied wank stain, for fucking thinking you're going to be our fucking savior, our shining knight. Fuck you. My disability doesn't define me. Many, many people that are in wheelchair, that doesn't define them. They can still be an arsehole.
It's like, just to point out, ladies and gentlemen, for the people listening to the podcast, Keith is retarded. That's his disability. I know. You don't have to tell everyone, but
I'm not going to tell everyone. It's made me so angry. This is the first time I've really been angry by one of these idiots, like really angry. And all these people blaming, oh no, it's the straight white males complaining again. No, it's not. Actually, you'll find that the biggest amount of people complaining online about this are people in a fucking wheelchair because it does not define them. Sorry. I'm going to go all as on this. It does not define you. And that is what Russell T Davies is saying.
I take umbrage by it as in like kind of. So are you telling me that all disabled people are good too? They don't come in shades of grey and different different colours and different stripes and different attitudes towards life. Are you telling me there wasn't a Nazi out there that occupied a wheelchair at one point? Because I bet you there was. I'm like, I am despair, and it's not. This is the funny thing is we've got another one to follow up after this one, which will just make your fucking blood boil. He has fucking killed all his momentum, and it's like kind of just this dumbass approach to what he's doing. I am genuinely lost for words because I think it's stupid. All he had to do was say, hey, you know what? We're going to see Davros with some legs this season so we can give you something new. And it's played by the same guy who plays Davros. Because he's old now, he's about almost 60, putting him in like kind of, I don't know, 2-3 kilos worth of prosthetics. He does get to sit down all day, but it's not a fun job. And Julian Bleach, this is the thing is, if you watch that sketch, Julian Bleach,
I love the skit.
Really looks like Davros. He's great as him.
I loved the skit. I think another reason I'm so fucking pissed off is all my hope was taken away as soon as it was given to me, because I watched that, and the only thing that I sort of slightly cringed at, but you get it in everything these days, was the one line where, 60 minutes ago I was this brilliant woman. I was like,
No, you weren't. You were
uh,
shit. You
no,
destroyed the universe and didn't fix it.
my eyes closed for a second, and then I opened again, and there was the doctor. There was where he was being the doctor. There was the funny comedy, and I went, "This is Doctor Who." And I watched that, and I messaged you, and I said, "You know what? This really made me smile. I really enjoyed it." Then I got another video pop up in my thing of Russell T V Davies being interviewed, and he said what he said, and I have never gone from elation to sheer fucking anger so quickly in my life. I mean, it was like it was faster than that goddamn SpaceX rocket yesterday going max Q. It was it was so that was awesome, by the way.
I always feel so sad when I see that happen.
It, 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 I am genuinely offended, and I don't get offended that often. But he is defining people by their disabilities. He is essentially saying that being in a wheelchair, if you see an evil bastard in a wheelchair, you should be offended by it. Well, fuck you, because you are defining them by the wheelchair. People with disabilities, most people try not to define themselves by their disabilities. That's why you get all these amazing Paralympians that do things. The general thing would to be ignore the fucking wheelchair. Don't even fucking look at it. I keep telling all these morons and all these writers, I've been saying this for fucking years. I've been saying this since before 20. Stop fucking pointing big neon signs at it. The best thing you can do is ignore it.
And just carry on like everything's normal.
And just carry on.
Because it is normal. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, one of the most funniest occasions at work were with two disabled people. Right, so there's we only have one disability parking space in our entire building, for our entire building, and there was a guy who was like director of like big jobs. I think was the best way of describing him, and he usually parks in that space because he was disabled. He's got I think he had a car accident, fucked his back and hips, and he parks there. And then we had this other guy who was head of a company that we bought, and he was in a wheelchair, and the guy in charge of big jobs came into the office absolutely fuming. He goes, "Who's parked in my space? What bastard's parked in my space? I had to walk all the way around here." Blah, blah, blah. And then he turns around and looks at the guy in the wheelchair and he's like, "Oh." It was great. He was like, "Oh, I guess you trumped me on that occasion." But I find it was. All he had to do was say, "I'm just going to see a different Davros this time." That's it. All he said, different Davros. We're going to see Davros but pre-accident, and then what you can do if you're really clever, you get to the end of that arc, and then he has a massive accident where someone tries to kill him, and he loses an arm and the use of his legs and both of his eyes. Yep, it's that simple. But I just
it's made me so angry, and it's like this. I mean, I got into it again, as I always do, on a YouTube comment, and this guy was laying into me. And in the end, I said, look, it might not be immediately apparent, but I have a disability, right? And it doesn't define me. That's exactly what Russell's doing here. And this guy, he shut up after going on about straight white males complaining. It's always the straight white males, always the people say anti-woke. This isn't woke. This is dumbness. This is stupidity.
All right, so this is the bit that gets me, because the logic eats itself, and I have to deal with logic all week through many tasks and dealing with many people, and I don't think there's anyone who I work with who hasn't pissed me off at one point or another. And you should know this, Keith, because you've worked with me. But if you sit there and say, "Oh, we can't have a bad guy in a wheelchair because that's bad," yeah, okay, fair enough. Then by the same logic, you can't have a male bad guy because you'll be portraying all males as bad, or a female bad guy because you'll be portraying all females as bad, or a computer, an AI, any bug-looking alien is instantly evil, blah blah blah, and you put that logic in there, and it just doesn't fucking work. You pick the best thing that makes the story work. And Davros, I'm sorry, he was there long before you, Russell. Go the fuck away.
And the stupid thing is implying that all disabled people on TV have been portrayed as bad guys. Yeah, it did happen a bit, but look at fucking
Ironside,
Ironside. Yeah, exactly. I was about to say Ironside. The what's her face from Silent
Professor
Witness?
X,
Professor
fucking X.
Motherfucking
I
X.
love one of my favourite characters of all time. And because I'm going bald, I associate more with Professor X than the rest of the X-Men. I don't look as I don't have that lovely hair like fucking Scott Summers has got. And I'm not short like Wolverine.
Look, it did happen, but no one is going to sit there and start complaining about Davros being in a fucking wheelchair.
Oh.
And if you were that bothered about it, why did you do a Davros story there? Why didn't you do a Cyberman story? If it was like, it was children on need, and we're going to be raising money for all the children in the wheelchairs, we can't show an evil bad guy in a fucking wheelchair on Children in Need Night. Yes, you fucking can.
Oh, no, wait for this. If you apply the same logic, the Cybermen are fucked. They're never coming back. Because you know what the Cybermen were based on originally? It was based on the idea of prosthetics. And how many prosthetics can you have before you stop becoming human? That was the logic behind the Cybermen when they first turned up in Doctor Who. And if you do the same thing again, you're then beating on people with fucking disabilities again. Seriously, again. Yeah, and it's just... and he invented John Lumick, who was a bad guy in a wheelchair. Okay, it was a really cool wheelchair, but he's still a bad guy in a wheelchair. And I'm just like, oh fuck me, please bring back Stephen Moffat. Just let him do his thing.
No, but Moffat, I'm sorry, I hate to tell you this, but Moffat's last two things have been equally stupid. I mean, that last thing with David Tennant was fucking god awful. With the silly cow filming on the tube. That whole opening scene.
Oh no, yeah. As I said, I've heard him say he has his bosses, and they mandate that stuff gets put in.
But that was beyond the pale, and I'm beginning to think he's also been infected by this idiocy. It's not wokeness; it's idiocy, right? And it's logic. It's. Steve, sorry. Steve's just commented in our things for the podcast listeners. Not much hope for Seven. Then, I despair at the moment, and whilst I don't think Stephen Moffat is quite as dumb as this. I can't get over what Russell T Davies has done and said. It bothers me beyond anything else. It bothers me because it. As I said, it is discrimination. He is discriminating. It's just reverse discrimination. So all the people won't see it. Most of these people who really are not that bright, who follow this, won't see it. But it's there. He is shining a big freaking spotlight on the disability, and that annoys me. Anyway, you should bring us on to the other dumbass article.
Oh. Fuck me. Right, so let me share this other article. I've got some notes on it. Let me put
not quite as egregious, but equally as dumb.
Oh, so Russell T Davies says if you hate Doctor Who's includes a trans person, good luck to your lonely life. I don't have a lonely life. I don't like it because it's just rammed down my throat 24/7, for God's sake. I'm sick of this shit. Oh, we lost Keith. That's so bad. I broke Keith's camera.
No, you haven't.
It's the fuckwit has put. Sorry, the fuckwit has picked he's picked a cause, and he thinks that he's fighting for fucking emancipation, ending of slavery, fucking Jim Crow, all this shit where he's not. He's asking for the fucking harm of people who will regret it later on in life, and we're gonna have to wait a good 7 more years before it just turns into this shit was a really bad idea and like embalming mercury to secure things. Well, so you've got the Yasmin Finney, who's the actress or person. Oh, I have no idea. They them playing the role of Rose in the new thingy and the new thing of Doctor Who, and she's described as having a supportive family. They're not that supportive if they help you make a decision that's going to affect the rest of your life, causing you to be on drugs and have surgeries and other horrible fucking things that I can't really talk about. But it's it's supposed to be escapism. I'm not. I don't want current dayism thrown into my fucking stories. I just want stories. Do you know how much we're gonna have Reacher soon? Yeah, and Reacher's not going to include any of this stuff.
Yeah.
I fucking hope not, because if it does,
Mm.
I'm bollocksed. And it'll be fine. It's not that I've got. It's not that I've got anything against these people, but one, it has to be an adult. Is my first thing. Yeah, and if you look at this person, it clearly didn't do it when they were an adult, which is not. It's not right. Okay, and that worries me, and the fact that then he's turned around and supported that. You don't FGM. Yeah, we don't support that. Yeah, and it's a form of FGM as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it's right. So Biff has brought up a really good point here. It's not the problem with Doctor Who. It's a problem with the foundation and the way that they run everything through. The timbers are rotten. You can't rebuild the building with rotten timbers. That's it. Just tell a story and keep it like that. You can. It's like what do you call it? Mark Gatiss included a trans character in one of his stories. Yeah,
Mm.
and they weren't like trans. They were a clone that wasn't supposed to
Mm.
be thing. So he put it in there and he figured, oh, how can I get away with this without being a bit too thing? Make it a bit more sci-fi. Yeah, and he did that, and I was fine with that. Yeah, because it
It's
wasn't like in your fucking face. It was just
I, I don't have the problem with trans characters until I started playing video games, and they're now appearing in every single video game. I mean, the one in Harry Potter Legacy just is ridiculous. Um, it. My problem is that Russell T Davies is always going to include gay people. I mean, if you watched the early seasons of Torchwood, every alien that was running around Cardiff was gay. And look, at the time, I didn't have a problem with this. I love Jack. I still love Captain
yep.
Jack, and he was everything. I liked Russell Tovey's character, although I would question Russell T Davis's sort of connection to him because he's a lot younger than Russell T Davis. But anyway, that's another matter. My I look, the trans character in this didn't bother me as much, but I know where you're coming from because
It's not that. If he'd have just kept his fucking mouth shut,
yeah, again, yes,
I would
yeah,
have.
no, I'm
I'll
with
be
you.
honest with you. I probably would have ignored it and gone. I probably would have ignored it, watched it,
Uh,
wouldn't have had an issue with it. But because he
yeah,
opened his
no,
mouth up, now I'm like, kind of, well, you
yeah,
pointed at you dumb fuck.
yep, no, I again because I got so pissed off earlier because of what he did and said, yeah, you're right. I need to because Chuck's in late. Hiya, buddy. Um, Doctor Who. We're talking about the writer who opened up his mouth after the fact. I enjoyed the 5 minute video. I really enjoyed it. So I haven't enjoyed Doctor Who's this much since Stephen Moffat actually. And then the writer ruined it by opening his mouth. And that's now, I think, ruined Doctor Who almost indefinitely for me. And it's a crying shame because it is my favourite series. And I was genuinely getting caught up in the hype and looking forward to the 3 episodes because I know something's coming in the second episode. I'm pretty damn sure that Matt Smith is going to turn up, and that would have been epic. I hear a rumor that that even Chris What's his face was persuaded to come back. There
I
is a
doubt Chris
rumor.
Eccleston was
I
persuaded.
would love it if he was, but
He's a
I've lost.
miserable curmudgeon.
Yes, but he did come back. He did. Okay, it was Big Finish, but he did come back
That doesn't
and
count.
do the.
No, it doesn't count. He had the 50th and didn't come back. Actually, we got John Hurt, which I'll be honest with, was much better. Everyone praises kind of Eccleston, but
I would like to
fucking
have seen
Capaldi
it,
destroys him.
but I know Capaldi will probably be in it, but it's a bit like watching that final episode of Doctor Who the other month. There were a couple of things that were cool in it, partly because of where she regenerated, because Chuck had been there that day, and that was kind of cool. And I like seeing the old Doctors again. I like seeing Ace talking to Sylvester McCoy, and there was things there, but it was again that feeling in the back of my head that I hated Chris Cinnabar, Chinballs, and I hated her.
Cinnable.
Chimballs. That's what we're calling him. And then Russell T Davies was coming back, and I had a little bit of hope, and then I watched that Children Need thing. I thought it was amazing, and then I saw what I did, and then you sent me that article, and I've just read it, and I've just gotten, you've lost your ability to think, to critically think. You've drunk the Kool-Aid, and it's affected your brain. Look, Russell, I get it. You're gay. You've written some amazing dramas that has highlighted, homosexual life. You put homosexuality out there and you normalized it. Great, I get it. I've got homosexual friends. You should have done that. That was amazing back then. You don't need to keep doing it. And what you certainly fucking don't need to do is discriminate against people with disabilities, even though you think, as an able-bodied person, you're not doing that. You fucking well are. Trust me, buddy. You fucking well are. And fuck you, because you are a load of people. Oh, God, I'm getting angry again. But
he's getting angry. He's going to pop a boner.
I'm really, really angry when I watched that. I mean, I had to go and stand outside for 10 minutes. My wife's like, what? It's like, I'm going outside for 10 minutes. I'm really fucking angry. Yeah. So anyway, I will watch it. Funny enough, it airs at 6:30 on BBC television. So I will have watched it freshly on the Sunday, because I won't be watching it until the Sunday. I was going to stay up late and watch it. I'm not going to bother now. So we will cover it next week. But I'm not going to forget what he said.
I think the overnights are going to be about 7 million viewers.
It's going to get some viewers, but it'll
be 7 million, and then probably just shy of 9 to catch up some bits. And it's only because everyone's interested in seeing what's come back. But whatever the gap is between that and the 11 million that tuned in for Jodie Whittaker is the number of people that you've lost permanently, who never want to come back.
If it gets 7 million, I mean, it's going to get a higher audience, but purely because of the time that it's on. It's got that slot back. But BBC, if you're listening, shut him up, gag him. Disney Plus, because you've got stuff in the game now. You've got money in there. Shut him up.
If you'd just
he is going to become your Rachel Ziegler. He is going to become that. Because the amount of people that are not going to watch that Hunger Games film because she's in it, that film has flopped because of her, right? And I see that all the time in social media. He's going to become your Rachel Ziegler if you're not careful. You've already lost half of the disabled people from watching this because they're angry, and I don't blame them.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I was going to pretty much fucking forgive it all. And then when he opened his mouth up, that was it. He lost me.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And that annoyed me, because I thought you and me could finally geek out about some decent Doctor Who again. It was like, I was really looking forward to that. And that's not the reason that I'm angry, but that upset me a bit. Let's move on, because I'm going to go again, because
let's just have
no idea how angry it's made me.
A small break.
Hi, this is Nigel, and I'm talking in my lovely narrator's voice. Bask in its loveliness. But don't bask for too long. We need your help. Come to YouTube and watch our videos for the love of God. Well, send Keith round to your next barbecue and he'll eat all your food. Toasty! You have been warned.
I figured we needed that. It was either that or the other one that we get copyright claimed on. I won't get stuff on, but we got copyright claimed on. So what was it? I watched Welcome to Wrexham, which is really good, as I was on the cross trainer for over an hour, and I got to the final of it, and it was fantastic, and I recommend you all watch it. And it kind of will explain to the Americans, it will explain how football works and why it is such a great and terrible game all at the same time, and it will give you a fucking aneurysm, which is great. Anyway, you wanted to talk about Monarch.
I tell you what, I had a random experience today, and it was interesting. Before we go into Monarch, I had a random thing. So my wife graduated today. She's studied to do this care and sort of nurse aid course, and she graduated. I'm a very proud husband. Anyway, we went round to her sister's for a barbecue and stuff, and her sister is living with a German guy. and the German guy was playing Book of Boba Fett in German, which was quite funny. But here's the thing, right? And this is actually quite interesting. I haven't had time to Google it. He played the 2 Mandalorian episodes, right, which were actually the best episodes of the fucking thing. But you know the blacksmith. I swear to God, the actress that plays her is the same fucking actress doing the German voice, because it sounds exactly like her. Like, it is her. Either they have found a perfect German mimic of her, or it's the same bloody actress, which I just found quite interesting. All the other ones were very different. But that was interesting.
The Empire would sound so much better in German. So Biffa, the Empire in German.
You have not experienced Star Wars until you see Luke Skywalker speaking in German.
No,
it was fucking brilliant.
To quote Star Trek, yeah? To quote Star Trek, The Undiscovered Country, you've not seen Star Wars until you've seen it in the original German.
It's brilliant. Fucking brilliant. I there was times when I was really suppressing laughter because it was brilliant. Especially when they're talking to fucking Baby Yoda. And he's talking in German, and it's like, I swear to God, this looks like a second world. No, this is wrong.
Oh my God! Hang on a second. Right, hold on a second. There is one of the funniest things I've seen ever. I think it's a clip from some political German convention. And you've got this comedian, he's up there, he tells a joke, and then he starts going, Aussie, 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 and they go, oi, oi, oi. And does all these things that they go through, and they keep responding to him. And then he gets towards the end, and he goes, Zig! And they all yell, hi, or like that. And he's like, it's the funniest bit of German comedy I've ever seen in my entire life. I didn't know the Germans could be that funny. It was just the way he caught them out, and then you see his reaction.
Actually, every German person I've ever known has been brilliantly funny, and it is a stereotype that they're not funny. Look, I've been taking the piss slightly, but I actually, every German person I've ever met, I've got on with very, very well, and including this guy, and he's brilliant. He's a funny guy because he did this thing. He gave me a beer, and he had a bottle opener, and it was just this circular thing. He just pushes down, it ejects the cap. It's like an automatic bottle opener, and I went, that's amazing. I've never seen one of those before. You push down. He goes, oh, you can order them. All right. And he brings it up, right? The first one he shows me, Liverpool FC. And I went, you're taking the fucking piss. And he looked at me like, I'm offended by that. And I'm only telling this story because I know Cap. And then he brings up a Manchester United. And I went, that's not that much better, mate. I mean, it's better, but it ain't that much better.
Anyway,
he laughed.
Whilst we're sharing stories of funny Germans, you watched Monarch, and I don't mean Monarch of the Glen.
No, well, I used to watch Monarch again. No, I watched Monarch, the new. Oh no, it's a good year, and it's in Japan, and they missed the fucking boat. I mean, they had it's set 1 year after the first Godzilla movie that we got in this universe, right? The one with Bryan Cranston in it, right? So it's set in 2015, except it's not. It's also set in the 1950s. So we're getting like 2 stories going on. And we got a cameo from what's his face on Skull Island at the beginning in 1970. I've forgotten his name. Was in Roseanne. Roseanne's husband.
John Goodman.
John Goodman was in it. Looking very slim and dapper, actually. Playing the head of the monarch who you saw in Skull Island. So you get that cameo right at the beginning, and then you start following this sort of. Initially, you think she's a Japanese girl, and then you work out she's American, and she doesn't speak Japanese, or at least that's what it implies. And she's found out that her father basically had a family in Japan and a family in America, and then it basically they find these files that have got all this monarch stuff on it, and you're also following the story behind, and you're following like this Japanese woman that gets killed at the end of the first episode, which you then find out is her grandmother, the American Japanese girl and brother, and it's all sort of mixy bixy, but you're getting monsters in there, but like in the first episode, they're in Japan, and Japan has a drill, although they don't know it's a drill. They're like a Godzilla drill, so they all have to go down. They missed the boat. I was waiting for it. I was waiting. Like, no, it's a Godzilla. None of that, which was an absolute shame because they've got that in the fucking Japanese Godzilla movie that's coming out, the brand new one, which actually looks fucking awesome. They've got it. It's like, it's a Godzilla.
Actually, saying that, I watched the last one, which was a rip-off of Evangelion or whatever the bloody manga anime thing is. I really enjoyed that hell out of that. They've really made Godzilla out to be some fucking terrible thing, and it starts off because you see it like grow into Godzilla as it's going through the city, and then you've got some great what do you call it? Some bits with the tanks and stuff, and they got it looks fantastic, and it was like, this is really exciting. Why was the other film like this? Did I tell you I watched what was that? The Creator. Gareth Edwards did The Creator.
Yeah, I want to see it.
It's shit. It's boring.
I still want to see it for
cinema.
I want to see it because of its. But how did you watch it? Did you watch it at the cinema?
I went to the cinema with my friend. I dragged my friend Carl to the cinema to watch it with me, and it was like, oh, maybe I should have paid for his ticket because I think I fucked up here. I watched it, and it has right. It's got some great visuals in it. Visually, he's a great director, but he needs to team up with someone who can write a fucking script, because it's just like kind of, he can do the thing where everything looks fantastic, but just there's no fucking feeling in there. It's crap. There you go. That's my review of The Creator. Thank you very much for listening. We'll catch you next week.
Well, bye. Monarch, I enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I heard some people saying, "Oh, it's not going to be very good, or it's going to be really boring." It wasn't boring. It's got monsters in it, right? Because in the second episode, you come back to that Japanese lady, but earlier on in the life, so you're getting the backstory of, you know. So she meets this bloke, and she's got a soldier with her who turns out, like, you know, the older version is played by Kurt Russell. Kind of cool. So Kurt Russell's in this as well. And anyway, they find a fucking boat basically in the middle of a field. Now, it's implied it's Japan. The trouble is, right, the only criticism I have of it so far is they're saying it's Japan, but they're blatantly filming in Hawaii because they're using that same backdrop that they've used in every fucking Jurassic Park movie and just about every other Lost movie and everything else. It's the same backdrop. It's the same clips in the background. It's like, I know that every bloody person in the world,
that Green Valley,
Green Valley knows that. Where are the Gallimimus? I'm waiting for the Gallimimus and Sam Neill run past, you know, with 2 kids. You know, it's like, no, this isn't Japan. That's the only criticism, that they're using recognizable locations. But the boat was in. I like, oh, you know, what's this boat? And I'm not going to spoil it because there's some really good sort of reveals in it. But anyway, cut a long story short, boat starts rocking, big fucking monsters on top. It's like, no Godzilla yet, although you get shots of Godzilla. But I'm enjoying it. It's, you know, it's a little bit surprise woman, but every American series is. Sorry, people, I apologize in the podcast. Special guest in the chat. Hello, Dave.
Hi, Dave. I've got a confession. I bought your book ages ago. I haven't got round to reading it. It's sitting next to the sofa downstairs to remind me to read it. I apologize. I will read it.
But it's good. It's good so far. The first 2 episodes were quite good. The opening is kind of good. Put a lady in it and make it lame. They put a lady in it. She's hot. Trust me, Biffert, she's hot.
I'm paying attention now.
It isn't lame.
I miss the 80s. Didn't do a load of coke like other people.
I kind of enjoyed that. I kind of enjoyed the first 2 episodes. You should watch it. Come on, you've got a reason now to get your Apple subscription going up. There's some interesting stuff on there.
So we'll swiftly move on to our next bit. Is that we've got the new trailer for, and this is the reason I'll get my Apple subscription back, for the next season of Slow Horses, which I love. Absolutely love Slow Horses. It's fantastic. That's a good one, actually. Keith, go find a picture of this woman while I'm talking about the trailer for Slow Horses. So it looks like it's going to be a bit more action-packed this season. You've got a rogue set of agents who are a bit more... oh, my God. Hold on. Oh shit. Oh, Chuck got told off by Streamlabs. I've never seen that before. I don't know how you did it. Um, so I don't know. I've never seen Streamlabs sit there and bash someone down for trying to post a link, or maybe just type www dot the bot can fuck with. Anyway, let me. Hang on a second. I'm gonna. I'm gonna see if the bot's there. I'm gonna switch the bot off. But so. Oh, it's on for YouTube. It's not on for Twitch. You're fine on Twitch. You can post any old nonsense on Twitch because it's Twitch.
I can't. It's not a very big picture because it won't let me.
What's
Let
the,
me. I'm gonna.
what's the actress's name?
Hang on. No, wrong turn. Wrong turn.
We just.
I don't know what her name is, but she's the one in the middle picture. She's half Japanese, half American, but she's not a bad looking lass, you know. Yeah, right, here we go. Right, can you see? She's the one in the middle. There we go. She's the one in the middle.
She's the one in the middle.
Yeah, but she was quite. And that's her brother in this, and then that's the brother's kind of on and off girlfriend. She's not. I'll give it to this, right? She's a bit of a dumb fuck. Well, not dumb, but she's not immediately awesome, which I found refreshing. So neither of them are immediately awesome either. And you kind of, and what they do is that they show that the middle girl, again, what I found different about this is she's a bit of a cow at the beginning, right? And they show you why she's been a bit of a cow. And you go, yeah, I'll let her off. I'm not going to ruin it for you. But when you discover why she's been a bit of a cow, you're kind of like, yeah, fair enough. I think I'd be a bit fucked up after that too. So, it's yeah. I enjoyed the first 2 episodes of Monarch on Apple TV. I kind of like the Godzilla movies. I think they're dumb, they're stupid, they are fast food flicks or popcorn movies, and that's why I love them. And Monarch is a bit more of the same in that same universe, with a little bit more spy shit going on. Kurt Russell in it, yeah.
Yeah. I'm chuffed that Chuck set our bot off. I thought it would have been be a stupid gamer setting our bot off, but it was Chuck. So well done.
Yeah. Well, how to be a stupid gamer is honouring Chuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chuck, Middle America. Chuck just set off our bot. Proud of yourself, mate. And I mean that as a compliment, by the way.
I don't think we get further than New York when we put these things out because everyone, all the Americans that listen to us is like somewhere near New York.
Well, it's like stupid o'clock in the morning, West Coast, I think. So,
I think it's probably a 9ish. Anyway, so Slow Horses. I was just talking about where you're dicking around. So, Jackson Lamb, one of my favourite television characters of all time. He's up there with Gene Hunt.
Yes,
not as rude as Gene Hunt, but he's definitely cut from the same cloth.
I think he's ruder in places. Gene Hunt was a bit more. I don't know. Gene Hunt was a different kind of. I mean, Gene Hunt wasn't an arsehole, whereas what's his face? Jackson Lamb is an arsehole. He's just a fucking good one. Whereas Gene Hunt had better. I think Gene Hunt had the better quotes. You know, it's fake as a tranny's fanny. Still fucking love that.
Oh God, no! There's some other.
You can't get away with that now. But that was a Gene Hunt quote. No, and it's fucking brilliant.
Do you know what the funny thing is? It's just to go off into the weeds. The end of Ashes to Ashes was what the end of Lost should have been.
Yeah, but did you hear that they were going to try and bring them both back? They were going to bring back Sam and her and all the casts, and it fell through. And I was just like, I'd almost wish I'd seen that because I really genuinely enjoyed Life on Mars. I really enjoyed Ashes to Ashes. I mean, the character of Gene Hunt was genius. And the putting him in an Audi Quattro in the 80s again was fucking genius. And that was when British TV, when BBC drama was genuinely fucking good. And that was some of the shining beacons from the BBC, and we just don't get that anymore. Not since we have that Piers Wanker. Oh, sorry, Wagner, no Wanker. In charge of BBC drama.
I
despair. But
look,
we're getting slow horses.
Yes, we're getting slow horses, which is good.
Yes,
I don't know how it's getting made because it's good.
Well, it's
I always
based
see
upon
this as
books.
this unofficial spin-off to Spooks.
I'll tell you how it's getting made.
It's like the B Team.
I'll tell you how it's getting made, because Apple does do surprise whamming, and actually in the books as well, the whamming are kind of in charge, and that's why Apple's making it. But actually, the people that they cast, it was very good casting in Slow Horses. I genuinely like and dislike the boss of MI5, or number 2, or chair 2, or whatever they refer to her in this.
Kristen Scott Thomas.
Yeah, she's brilliant in this. Generally, she's brilliant in this.
Lady Di, as he loves calling her. I just love this. Right, so I like that there's a brilliant bit in the second series where he turns around. It's like kind of, I think it's Rivers applied for another job, and Jackson Lamb goes, "Oh, we got you a leaving present," and like reaches into the middle drawer and just like. I do that to my friend in the office all the time because hang on a second, I've got something in my drawer for you. But it's I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be. I think it's going to be more action packed this season. It looks a bit more.
They genuinely follow the book, so the answer to that is yes. I'm not going to ruin it for you because I do know where it's going. I'm not going to ruin it for you. I'll let you watch it. But yeah, we've got 6 episodes of gloriousness, and there's already a confirmed season 4, I believe. So
it's got the guy who plays Boltar from Battlestar Galactica in it, James Callis, or his name is.
Yes, it has. Yes, but then it's got all of them turning up. At some point, it's going to get more and more of a cast. It's worth watching. Apple TV right now has got some good shit on it. For All Mankind season 4 is back, and we're now into 20.
Hang on a second. Is that the one with all the female astronauts?
No, you see, you had to watch it beyond the first season, right? Yes, they did do that in the first season, but actually, it kind of got a lot better. No, genuinely, it's got quite kind of good. Again, the alternate history has been kind of cool, and season 4, season 4, they are on, they're still on Mars, and yeah, it's been interesting. There's some interesting stuff. So the second episode was a bit weaker, but it ended on an interesting premise. And I didn't see it coming, and I should have fucking seen it coming because it was all
Aliens.
over No. So what they've done traditionally every season is they do this 2-minute skit where they give you an alternative history in between the periods that they cover. And then you watch a much extended version on YouTube, right? And I watch the extended YouTube because I find interesting real-world events versus what they're going for. And they had this skit in there about Gorbachev. Well, now in this, obviously, because the space race didn't stop, the USSR did not collapse. Yet Gorbachev was still in power, and it was Gorbachev that arguably created all the oligarchs and brought in all this stuff. And of course, there were hardline Communist Party people who didn't like this. So the coup that happened when Yeltsin was in power has just happened with Gorbachev in power. And I was like, this is an interesting premise. Where are they going with this? And I like this what-if stuff when it's done intelligently. And because this is Ronald D. Moore, it is kind of done intelligently. This is the guy behind Battlestar Galactica, and it's got better. Season 3, and again, they are not fucking scared to kill off actors that are like main cast members. Again, being pretty good. Season 3's final was pretty fucking shocking. And season 4's taken off, and the first episode of season 4 was pretty fucking shocking. Killed off a character that I really, really liked, because he was a bit of a bastard, and I like that. And they killed him off. I've enjoyed season 2, 3 even more, and 4. has been very, so far has been, it's been all right. But look, they're doing sci-fi, and they're doing half decent sci-fi with a budget that isn't fucking lame-ass Star Trek. So, with the exception of Picard season 3. Yeah, and apparently news, Strange New World season 3 has gone into production. Let's see if it's really going into production, or they are filming or reshooting the final episode. I'm not convinced. If it has a season 3, it will be its last. I'm telling you now. Just so I don't ruin it for you people, this will be its last.
No, let me ruin it for you. It's crap.
Yeah,
it's 3 crap. Seasons. All right, don't waste your time with it. He made me watch 1 episode, and I hate him for it. He still owes me 2 t-shirts. Oh, hang on, sorry. No, I've got to watch something. Bastard.
Still love the fact that you used the Picard music, you bastard. You knew that would insult me. Yeah, it would insult me.
It works perfectly for that. That Picard soundtrack to the TV show is the best tribute to the soundtracks from the films.
Right. Chuck's just brought something up. So, if you've never seen the special edition, you haven't seen the Abyss, because the Abyss cinematic version was shit. This is one of my favorite movies, and I know a lot about this film. And they are releasing it in the cinema for 1 day only in beautiful 4K cleaned up version of it. It's the director's cut version, so it's the proper fucking version of it. And go watch it, because it's brilliant. It is still a brilliant film. Even with all the problems. I think it's in the US in the next week or two. I saw an advert, but it's coming here as well. They've got the day here. I'm going to book tickets the minute they're available, because I want to go and see it in 4K goodness.
It's not on my cinema. Annoying. I watched The Rock.
It's not. It's at some point in the next month or so, or to Google it, because it will be. But it's worth going. It's Chuck, you've got to see the director's cut, because the last 30 minutes of that film make no fucking sense, whereas the director's cut makes all the sense, and therefore it's a beautiful movie. Yes, the director's cut improves the plasticky ship at the end as well. It's one of my favorite films of all time. Love it.
Right, did you hear about that absolute fucking nightmare it was to film The Abyss?
Yes. Oh, I know a lot about it.
Oh, about the skin stripping water.
Yes.
The poor actress who got through about 4 hours of filming cold and wet, went, oh, fuck this, and walked off set.
Well, that's because she had her tits out all the time.
Oh, right, no. She was cold and wet, and she was like, dude, this is no. Ed Harris, who what do you call it? Who's known for his professionalism, apart from when he gets something wrong. Him and all the rest of the crew all decided to throw a fucking tantrum on the same day, wreck their trailers, and all fuck off until things got better.
Yep.
James Cameron almost died, ironically, almost being killed by a safety diver. That would have been hilarious. James Cameron dead, killed by a safety diver.
And one of the things that they did, which was a real safety concern, was when they were filming, to get that sort of darkness under the thing, they covered the entire tank with black plastic balls, which actually made it quite when you service, because it was difficult to service. There's so many things like that from the movie. But regardless, it's one of my favorite films of all time.
Angel, you bastard. You absolute bastard. And you set Keith off. But anyway, coming back, so I just had to check, because I know that Alien was out on 4K, and I have to get Aliens, the special edition, on 4K.
I believe True Lies, the True Lies is coming. Yeah, I'll get that as well, because I love that movie.
I rewatched True Lies. I don't think it holds up as well as I'd like. It's still good, but it's not as good as I remember, if that makes any sense. It's not like a Die Hard. Yeah. It's not like when you watch certain films when you're younger, and then you watch it again when you're older, and then you have a better appreciation for it.
The Abyss is one of those for me, that it improves with age, in my opinion. But It's one of my favorite films. I do, but I like True Lies, and yeah, I will go and watch it again because I saw it a couple of years ago. James Cameron is kind of cool in some ways. He's a complete bastard in others.
Oh, he's a total wanker. The guy's a wanker, but he gets things done.
And he makes good films, mostly. Yeah. You'll think, no, I know what you said.
That is one of the reasons I went back to watch True Lies. I'm not ashamed.
Neither am I.
Sorry for the podcast listeners. Maybe you have to pop onto YouTube to see the comments. It's funny because I was hoping that film would have been a bit better. It's still a good film, but
it's one of Arnie's better films. And I know what you mean, but it's still one of Arnie's better films. And I mean, it was well cast. It's a good story. Art Malik at the beginning as the kind of terrorist geezer is pretty good. I enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I'd have that. I'm thinking of getting some 4K Blu-rays now that I've got a decent 4K Blu-ray player.
Sorry, I jogged my mic. The other thing too, I watched The Rock in cinema. With Sean Connery, Ed Harris.
Love that film. Still love that film.
Loved it. I forgot how good it was. It's the bit where they steal the chemical weapons right at the beginning. I watched that scene and said, that's fucking awesome. And you got the guy from Scrubs in it. He's one of the NCOs.
We did it as
lieutenants or whatever.
We did it as a fast food film, and it's still one of my favorite episodes that we did because I fucking love that film. I mean, it's one of Nick Cage's best. And it's got Sean fucking Connery in it and Ed Harris. I mean, what a fucking lineup. And look, people love to hate Nick Cage. I fucking love him. I do. I always have.
In the 90s, he was fucking awesome. Got so many good films. He did have a real good run of good films in the thingy. And he lives in Bath, which I find really fucking weird.
He is a bit weird, Nick Cage. But The Rock is still... I love that film. It's one of Connery. It's the bit where Connery throws Leo. God bless him. I say Leo because he played Leo in The West Wing, and that's how I will always remember him because he died during the making of it, and it was really sad. Anyway,
Novak, I think his name was.
When Connery throws him over, because he plays a right bastard in The Rock. When Connery throws him over the fucking edge and he's hanging him up like that, fucking brilliant scene.
And it's it's such a good. That's how action films should be, just fun, and it's like okay. Yes. I know that the Biff really likes True Lies, and that's great because the film's still good. But my problem is I had this expectation that I'd go back and watch it again, and it would have something more. But it's pretty fucking straightforward, which isn't an issue. And in comparison to all the shit that we've got today, it's gold. It's absolute gold. Yeah, we were spoiled when we were younger. We really were. You had that period in the 80s where films were just, I don't know why they were much better in the 80s. And then you had that period in the 90s. It was kind of like the mid 90s when you had pretty much all the Don Simpson stuff with Michael Bay was pretty awesome. And then there were some other bits on top of that because those inspired that. We had that run of like 90s action films where they had ironically had actors being the action hero rather than people like Arnie. And oh man, I would have. Did you hear about the Alien 3 script where it was going to be Arnie meets Ellen Ripley?
Yeah,
there was going to be a version of Alien 3 where that's what we're talking about. But
you mentioned Michael Bay, the world's greatest porn director that never was. I still stand by that. I stand by that. I've stood by that for years. Michael Bay, the greatest porn director that never was. No, there's lots of movies that we can go back, but I tell you what, I watched the new Reach trailer the other day, and I had a big fucking smile on my face. It's the bit that really was like, I'm gonna like this. It's the bit when he walks up behind the bed that's obviously under like duress, trying to take money out the cash point. He figures what the fuck is going on, right? Turns around, looks like that, walks out his car, puts his fist through the fucking window, drags the fucker out. It's like, yeah, I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy this. So I'm looking forward to Reacher season 2. I have to admit, I am looking forward to that too. There is some stuff to be looking forward to. Unfortunately, what I was looking forward to next week has been ruined by some idiot opening up his mouth. But that's by the by. We've got other stuff to be looking forward to still. We have got Reacher season 2 coming, and Reacher season 1 was brilliant. So Amazon Prime, that'll get my Amazon Prime thing going again. There's something that's entirely not appropriate to this podcast, but again, genuinely quite enjoyed it. And it's funny because it's a British actress playing an American again, and an iconic American at that, called Julia. It's brilliant on HBO about what's her face, who did the first cooking show on American TV. But it's played by
Fanny Craddock.
No, it's not Fanny Craddock. It's Julia. What's her face? Julia. She did the French Cook.
Hartley Brewer.
But it's got Niles as a husband.
Bravo.
And that's why he's not come back to Frasier, because he's in this, and it's a brilliant little show. It's genuinely quite good. Although Frasier, I've got to admit, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying Frasier being back again. It's like an old friend, and it's got Nicholas Lyndhurst in it, and it's kind of genius because it is just Frasier, but it's brilliant. His ex-wife comes back this week, and it's Frasier Crane, and it's the ex-wife, and the comments of how they hate each other, and then they end up jumping into bed with each other. It's again brilliant. I've really enjoyed Frasier, I have to admit. I'd subscribe to. Look, you either loved Frasier or you didn't. I loved the original series. I loved Cheers as well.
I was like, I wasn't very hot on it. I was a snob. I like British comedy much more.
There's not a lot of American comedy that I liked Friends in its day, and I like Big Bang Theory, and I still watch those and they make me laugh. But Frasier I enjoyed, and Cheers I enjoyed because it had some iconic actors in it that I enjoyed in other films. And Frasier I always enjoyed. Frasier was always kind of funny, even though they completely stuffed up the show, right? What's her face that was Frasier's maid? She was from Manchester, right? So a brother who had a South London accent, right, couldn't have really been her brother. Because there was quite a long distance apart. Brother and sister kind of had the same accent. Anyway, that was something Frasier did.
All right, hang on a second. All right, so I'm going to defend the Americans. Fucking hell, I'm going soft in my old age. So, England, UK, not a very big country, yeah? You can drive an hour and a half and get a change in culture and accents, yeah?
Drive 20 minutes and get a fucking change in accent.
Yeah. So, but in America, because it's so fucking large, when you sit there and say Manchester's near London, when you look at it on a US scale, it is near London. If you go just try and drive across Texas, yeah, just as an example, or Oregon.
I know exactly what you're saying. I've got a mate back in the UK that's had something happen, and he needs to send a payment to a company. I said, I can go and do that for you. It's only 45 minutes away. He goes, that's quite a long way away. And I went, no, it's not. It's 45 minutes away. Yeah, but that's a long way to drive. And I went, I suppose in UK standards, probably is to run an errand. But here, it's fuck all. It's a trip to the shops and back. So, yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
So, just any Americans who are planning to going in the UK, and that's probably really Chuck. Never go to Keighley, or Keighley as you'd read it. I did that. That was fun. I'm going to say it. My boss's advice was, get the bloody train next time, Gareth. Please, for our sakes, you get the train. I was saying, but he goes, no, just book it early. Everything will be fine. I'll sign off on it. But oh god, yeah, I went to Keighley. I hate that trip. I can drive up to Manchester and I'm fine. But yeah, I just can't do Keighley. Sorry. Right, we want to finish off on the Marvels so we can have a good fucking laugh.
Yeah, it's
God, this is how dead Marvel is. It's so dead. We're looking at. Oh, cool. I don't think where they'll be playing.
Hang on, the Mets basketball, yes. I'm really gonna. The Mets are basketball, right?
I have no idea. I think
Well,
it sounds like basketball.
if it's American football, it's going to be at
Oh,
Tottenham's ground. If it's
yeah,
basketball, it's at baseball.
Baseball.
Where?
Yeah. It's only you don't really do American football in New York.
No. Where? I've always wanted to go to a baseball game. Where in London? Now, Biffa, you need to tell me this. Yes, okay.
So the Oval. Ironically, it's at the Cricket Oval.
That'd be amazing. That would be amazing.
Not the Cricket.
I guess I know what the Cricket Oval is. I've
do you
got
know?
pissed
Do you know
there
what I find funny?
numbers of times.
I'm not into cricket, but cricket culture when they have like a 6-day test. Yeah, imagine playing a sports game for 6 days. Do you know what happens? They just turn up and get drunk for the entire time for 6 days straight. And I'm like,
yes.
Why was I not informed of this? This sounds awesome.
Yes, I got rat-ass watching the Ashes once. We won it as well. Not that I was well.
You think they won it? You don't know. You could have been hallucinating.
No, we did. It was the year that we won it. And people were sort of watching it from the top of their roofs and getting plastered.
London Stadium. Do you know how many London stadiums there are in London?
Right.
You need to be a bit more specific. There's like
Biffa, right? We have something called the Premiership.
There's the Wembley. There's
it's not going to be Wembley. It's too small. It's too small.
Tottenham's one. They've got Arsenal's one. You've got Wimbledon's one.
Yeah, but they're all too small for baseball because baseball, the shape of the field, it's got to be. You take the piss that it's the Oval, but the Oval kind of makes sense. Yeah, I'd stick it in the Oval. I mean, we do have. I mean, Tottenham's ground. Right? For you Americans out there, I mean, I'm impressed. And Chuck, as an engineer, you'll be impressed at this, right? Tottenham Hotspur, arch rival club. Their ground is amazing because what they do is they've got a football pitch, and that's football, right? And it splits into 3 and rolls into the car park, right? And underneath is a full NFL pitch. And if you've never seen this, watch it because it's awesome. And the car park has special lights to keep the fucking pitch alive. When they roll this pitch in, the pitch splits into 3, rolls into the fucking car park, and underneath in Tottenham's new ground is an NFL pitch because they play NFL there every year. That is awesome. But yeah, the London Stadium, yeah, it could be the Olympic Stadium. It's big enough.
Yeah, Olympic Stadium. It's just a little mad because you have no idea how many stadiums there are in London. There are loads of stadiums in London.
Hang on. I'm going to Google this now. We don't have a Nige to get Nige on it. London 2024. Where are you playing?
If it's a cricket ground, I'm going to laugh.
NBL London Series. Okay, so we got the London Series 2024.
The Olympic Park.
Is it the Olympic Park? Yeah,
it looks like it's the Olympic Park.
It makes sense because it's the biggest fucking one. Yeah, that's somewhere you didn't go, Chuck, unless you saved it, right? The Olympic Park has the highest slide in the world that you have to go down this freaking great big tube thing. And I'm going to admit this. I saw it and remembered it after you got home. I was like, shit, I should have suggested that to Chuck because that's kind of YouTube gold. Especially Chuck going, oh shit, as he's going down it. It's not loading. Where is it?
I worked on the Shard.
Did you?
I worked on the Shard. Yeah.
It's the Olympic Stadium. It's the Olympic Stadium. Yeah, you can tell it's the only one that's big enough. So it's Aston Villa's ground, isn't it? Or is it West Ham? No, West Ham's ground. Yeah. So, sorry. I minor faux pas. So yes, that would be the London Stadium is located within the Queen Elizabeth Park. Are they genuinely calling it the London Stadium now? Have I just been schooled by it? Yeah, they fucking are.
They are.
Yeah.
Well, we also worked. I didn't work on it, but my friends worked on the underground link for that. I know because they were really bloody proud when it was sorted.
Dude, we're both from the fucking same place, and we didn't know about it, and we just got told. and we've been sitting here taking the piss out
No,
of
no, no, no.
fucking
We're supposed to. No,
Americans.
no. You missed the important part out. You missed the
No,
important part.
I'm
We
just
were
realizing
told
the
by
karma
Americans.
just bitch slapped us in the face. You realise that?
Bitch slapped you. I'm fine.
Bullshit! You took the piss as much as me. You're in this with me.
No, 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 no.
You want to go back and replay? It's called the London Stadium.
That's fine. I'm a big boy. I can take my licks. But
it's cool, Biffa. Go on the slide. You'll see what I mean when you Google it. It's cool, and I might try and get tickets for that. I've always wanted to go to a baseball game. That kind of might be cool. So yes, I have to.
I was put off of baseball since I was playing it as a kid, and I pitched something and I knocked another kid's front teeth out.
I've always wanted to go to a game though. There's something about. I mean, you know, Americans are the greatest spectators in the world.
No, they're not. Have you never seen? Hang on a second.
Well, I was about to say, no. You see, the thing is, right? Korea and Japan are absolutely batshit crazy on baseball, and I've been watching this thing on Disney Plus about one of these amazing Japanese baseball players. They are like the Indians with the IPL. They go fucking nuts. We're talking about sports. This is a geek podcast, and we're talking about sports. But they go nuts over that. IPL, brilliant. I've never enjoyed cricket so much in my life. Well, it was 2020 cricket. So
2020 cricket's the best cricket to watch.
Yeah,
it really
3
is.
hours. But the Japanese go and the Koreans go nuts because the Korean has like a Korean League baseball thing, a bit like the IPL, and they like bring in American players and all sorts, and they go nuts for it. But I want to go to a baseball game. Genuinely, I want to go to a baseball game. That's a football term.
Hey guys, and welcome back.
No, I don't want to listen to you. I want to listen to the chant. So they're just the mad stuff, like kind of. What's it? I need to find it anyway. You need to hear it. But if you ever watched, I've been to quite a few football games. And the funny thing is, I went to an England game and had to go to the toilet loads, and they beat Greece 6-1. And every time I went to the toilet because I was suffering, they scored, which was hilarious.
Please tell me you actually watched one goal, or were you in the pisser every
No,
time?
I saw Greece's goal. That was it. I had the squits. It was terrible.
Brilliant.
I just had to get up. They were like, Gareth, you need to go to the toilet game. We want another goal.
I have a story like, I mean, when England won the Rugby World Cup against Australia years ago, when, you know, Johnny Wilkinson's kick, right? I ended up having to work that fucking match, right? And I can't remember what I did. I did some kind of deal. I upgraded my mobile phone. They gave me one of those free portable TVs, right? So I set it up on my desk. Not a single fucking person called in during that game. Not a single fucking person on that Saturday morning, right? But the tension towards the end of it got so bad that I ran outside for a cigarette because we used to go, when there was no one there, we used to sort of open up the fire exit and smoke on top of the fire exit, right? And I put the TV on and I missed Johnny Wilkinson's kick. I saw the replay, but I missed it live. Oh, that was a beautiful moment. I replaced everybody, all the Australians who'd been giving me shit all week. I replaced all of their wallpapers with a Sydney Opera House with a giant fucking George Cross on it. And then I released a GPO that made them that they couldn't change it for a week.
Oh, no, that's not good. That's an abuse of power, that is.
Yep.
Chuck's got this that you can never go to Greece now. I can't go to Greece for another reason, and it involves my colleague and me insisting that hummus is Greek, even though it's not. Right, imagine this, yeah? You've got this Greek colleague, yeah? And he's like kind of, I don't know what to have for dinner tonight. I went, you're Greek, it's obvious, isn't it? It's hummus. And do you know that joke has been running for 2.5 years and the entire office is now in on it? Which is fantastic. I got sent. Right, there's a lady who does like project support for for their team, and she sent me. And I don't know that very well. She said she found my business number, and she sent me a WhatsApp with a hummus joke on it. I know who's going to enjoy this, and sent it to me.
Oh dear. Anyway, I think we should probably put a bell on this.
Bow on
and,
this. A bell on
bow
this.
on this.
You bell end.
Put a bell on this.
Bell end.
You bow end.
Okay, guys.
you,
Right, so
you missed the trick there. You should call me a bow end then.
bow end. Oh, bell end. Bell end.
Yes.
So anyway. I think we're done. I think you're tired, considering that we were supposed to start an hour before when we started because of time differences and stuff.
Fucking 30 this morning. I was up. So I was up before you went to bed last night. That's how long I've been.
I went to bed quite
day.
early last night. I've turned into an old man who goes to bed early and gets up early because I've been having to do 5 o'clock fucking starts. Well, I say 5 o'clock starts, 5 gets out of bed.
I was up at 10 o'clock at night your time. That's when I woke up.
That's when I went to bed, actually, ironically. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.
Yes.
Keith.
Thank you.
Well,
it's working now until Apple release another update. Don't upgrade Mac OS. Just don't. It's been a fucking nightmare.
Someone asked me if I wanted to upgrade to Windows 11. I went, no.
Well, don't do that either. I'm trying to work out how
Not
a way
yet.
of downgrading this bloody machine. It's been so freaking. Anyway.
On that sour and dour note, that bit. Anyway, if any of you are watching, Dave's Playfoot audiobook narrated by Nigel, produced by me, is on sale on Audible. I recommend you go and get it. He's also got a new book out. I recommend you go and get that. Be a Stupid Gamer. It'll be on tonight, hopefully streaming Prop Hunt or something along those lines. And I should be playing unless something tragic happens to me. And Keith is lame. Keith's so lame. So yes. Oh, and Chuck, can you do me a favour? Can you put the Iceland videos out? Because I haven't checked actually, because I was watching Welcome to Wrexham rather than your channel. So yeah.
He's got a new video out. It's Central Park. So
I don't want to see New York. I want to see Iceland. I'm not talking about the shop on the high street in the UK. So okay, all right. So I'm going to
make him put a video out now. I'm going to make him put a video out of him going to Iceland buying frozen sausages, and frozen chips. You know what I'm going to do right now? Just to piss you off. Oh, he's really pissed off now. Sorry, couldn't help that.
We were going to talk about the Marvels, but it just goes like this. It was shit. Marvel is dead. They were so desperate, they put Cats out and not realizing that was going to be a massive turn-off. And they had a singing section in it too, which puts me off instantly because I hate musicals with a passion.
And Loki.
I think, yeah.
And yeah, Loki. They made out like the ending of Loki was the greatest thing ever.
No one was talking about it. No one gave a shit. It passed. It was like the expression: if a series on Disney Plus comes out and nobody watches it, did it ever actually happen? Bye.